episode of Catching Up with Coast to Coast. Here we have Priyanka Khanna with us. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for being with us.
Thank you, Riya, and thank you, Pinapni, for having me here.
Welcome, Priyanka. So, when we thought we would do a Mother's Day special, my instant first, literally the first name was, let's invite her, because I have seen the journey literally from the beginning. You know, the first time I went to her office, I was sitting with Rudraksh in the office, and a little while later, I see Priyanka walk in and two nannies walk in with two little toddlers walk in, and then I realized they had an entire play area over there, a nursery.
Yeah.
I was so impressed. It was so well thought of, really. And you know, the thing is how she balances her work and her personal life and with the family and everything. So
That's
it's been a journey I've really admired and seen over the years. Yeah.
The first question that comes up to my mind is what inspired you to become an architect? Because we'd love to know your journey. And there's so many viewers who'd actually want to know who Priyanka is and how she started off, because there are a lot of people watching in who get inspiration from you as well.
So, to be honest, I didn't really grow up thinking that I would be an architect. So, in my family, there's nobody who's practicing architecture. But I come from a defense background, and I had a very, very structured and a very disciplined kind of childhood. So, while I was deciding upon the profession that I would be taking, I was absolutely clear I didn't want something which is like a 9-to-5 job and a very traditional kind of schooling. So while I was exploring what all options could be there apart from engineering and medicine, which my parents wanted me to pursue, so few of my friends were exploring these creative fields of fashion design and architecture, and it felt as if architecture could be something that I would enjoy working in. So that's how I just took up architecture.
So did you also started sketching quite early or something like that? Did you have such instances?
Yeah, I was always very creative. I was always into drawing and sketching, but architecture is not something that only is sustained on these designing, sketching skills. So, but I felt that it would be something which is not very stereotypical kind of work, like a 9-to-5, like a linear progression that you would follow. So, I always had that creative bent.
Lovely. These small instances kind of hint you at where you were headed, right? How did 42mm happen, Priyanka? Tell us more about the whole story with Rudraksh.
So, basically, Rudraksh and me, we were batchmates from school. And we had very similar kind of design passions and very different design aesthetic, but similar passion for design.
Right.
So, both me and Rudraksh, we decided that we would want to work with some other company and, increase our knowledge band. And then we would want to practice build a firm of our own. So Rudraksh started this firm 42mm, and while I was still working with another company, so I think in 2008 is when I joined Rudraksh. And that's how 42mm started.
But since you also highlight the fact that the both of you have different design philosophies, but the passion is the same. That remains the base of the relationship, be it professional and personal. What is the design philosophy of 42mm according to you?
So, 42mm as a company, we primarily work on homes. We are a company that specializes in generational homes. So, our design philosophy is actually based or rooted in the end user or the family that we are building a home for. So, even if you look at our portfolio, we don't really have a specific design style that we follow. Whereas each and every project that we've done is very, very different from the previous projects, because it actually just reflects the personality or the lifestyle of the family that we are working for. So that's basically the philosophy that we follow. We try and work with the family, try and study. We take our time in the design process. So we try and study the family, what's the structure like, what is their lifestyle, and then we propose design for them that not just follows that, but uplifts their lifestyle also and adds value to their
what I have seen is that are you both doing different projects, or are you both, or is there any particular aspect of a project designing that he looks into and another aspect that you look into, or you just handle separate projects?
So actually we handle separate projects, but the initial stage of the project where we are just conceptualizing the project, both me and Rudraksha are involved, because it in some ways, adds a different perspective
Yes,
also to the design.
Yeah.
So towards the initial stages, we both are involved along with our design team, and then once it's frozen, then one of us leads the project.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
lovely balance though,
Yeah.
because having that balance is very important
Very
when you have two, co-founders in a business. It's kind of tricky, and both of them are creative people.
Yeah.
How do you kind of balance that? Is that like a natural thing that comes out, or it's taken a little while to adapt to that?
So I think what really helps is the communication. That is the key,
Yeah.
because we need to communicate and align our not just our design goals but our personal goals as well.
Yes.
So as long as they are aligned properly and sorted properly, it's kind of okay to balance it out.
Yeah, I've been seeing
Seems to
the
be quite
personal and the
predestined.
professional both very well aligned. Actually, that's one of the finest I've seen in the industry of late.
I'm glad that it reflects like
Yeah,
that.
it
But
does.
there's so much of
I
conflict.
mean, I'm sure it shows in the projects
Yeah.
that you do.
Yeah.
And it just shows, you see, now earlier they had a different office where the nursery was there. Then they kind of, I think that's where the personal aligning of the goals came in. They moved into a house where, the office is in the basement and the house is on top. So the girls keep coming up and down, the daughters keep coming up and down. And it's just like one big family with all the people who work over there. It's like one big family.
So I'm glad that Pinakani got this time when I had a small nursery. So it was actually Rudraksha's idea.
Okay.
Because
Oh, wow.
when I had kids, I was actually taking a backseat as
From
per
the business and-
from the profession. But Rudraksh was somebody, and I wasn't too happy because I had there was certain project that I didn't really want to abandon, but I had to look at taking care of home and
Babies,
kids as
yeah.
well. So Rudraksh came up with the idea, even if I'm not able to spend the whole day in office, I could just come for few hours. At least I come out of the office. But then we decided collectively that let's make a small, play area or a creche in office, so kids can always be around, so that I'm also at peace, because it was not like a distraction for me, but it was I was more at peace because I could see them around.
Yeah,
I could see
absolutely.
them playing in the
As a
studio,
mother.
so I was more focused in my work. So I think
Yeah.
that was the moment that instead of stepping back, I could step up in my professional
So
goal.
important
That's
to have.
fantastic, and I think that I also got the answer to the question that I asked you before this. That how's the balance? Is it natural? It is natural because it comes out of it's that first thought that Rudraksh had, and then the play area, and that made you comfortable
Yes.
in your projects, doing it, pursuing your career, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
Which
very
is lovely,
important.
which is lovely
Very, very
for everybody to kind of learn from. That you gotta be supportive for each other, no matter what. And women, we talk about women empowerment and all of that.
Yeah.
The real empowerment is also the fact that let her do whatever she wants, let the mother do whatever she wants. That's a very
Let
good
the
message.
lady do whatever she wants.
Yeah,
I
let the
think.
lady do whatever she
And
wants.
end of the day, even if you want, I feel that I could step up and create a nursery, but you should be doing something that makes you, end of the day, makes you happy. If you want to take a break from work and just focus on kids, that's also okay. But
Respectful, yeah.
end of the day, it needs to make you happy so that you can keep people around you also happy.
That's so lovely. That's very lovely. Let's move on to the material part of it. What do you think that how important are veneers in terms of surfaces
So
for
I
your
think
projects, and what has your experience been like with Coast to Coast? Because we can definitely speak a lot for ourselves, but it's always important to know
From a
that-
designer
Yes,
perspective.
from a designer, of course.
So I think most rewarding aspect that I feel that comes while using veneer is to see how it transforms the space. You know, it adds so much of warmth and sophistication to a space. So that is something which is extremely rewarding. Plus, when it comes to coast, I think one aspect that I would want to highlight is the diverse range of veneers that they come up with. So that enables me to tailor make each and every project for with different design styles, with different client requirements. So that is something which is what I really value in Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
Also, I think the strength is with Coast to Coast is we've been working with each other for last I think 10-15 years.
Yes.
And each and every project that we've done has showcased a different ability of Coast to Coast. In some projects it would be the sampling which would have taken so long, and no, not so long, but was a task, was a struggle,
it was detailed,
because the client wanted various this thing, so that they had showcased. There's some projects in which the millwork was the highlight.
I think veneer-wise, I think what she's saying is, I think because we have things like our own dyeing plant, so we keep adding, and the innovation is there. Like, now we've just recently launched 50 more shades of dyed veneers. We've just tied up with Busnelli for the reconstituted veneers. So there's always an attempt to do something new, and it's very well appreciated over there. The fluted range, I think they are one of the first to pick up every innovation that we do. Acha, send us samples of this, send us samples of this. So it is nice to work together with them. So it's very nice, very rewarding.
Lovely. We'd love to know any of your favorite picks from the natural ones. We did speak briefly about the pearls, but I would want to know from you. Which are your favorite natural veneer picks?
So I think it's difficult for me to pick up just few one
One
natural.
is walnut.
So I would say that each and every project that I would do, there would be there was certain set of veneers that would always be there. From oak, I would always use this. That classic walnut that would be there. Then burl is also one veneer that we love to work with.
And
there are a
dyed
couple
also.
of dyed also.
Really nice. Any particular project that you have a memory from that you saw the veneer and you were like, the process was difficult and everything, and it's come out superb?
I think again, I would say it's difficult to pick up one or two projects, but recently the project that Pinakni has done is the project in Nepal that they've handled.
We'll add some images here for people to see.
So what they've showcased as the ability of their company to handle the huge quantum of work. Like there is like 120 doors, there's like 1,000 square feet of paneling that they've done. Which is commendable, and that too in another country.
That was the most difficult part,
to challenging part.
Across the borders to complete a project of that scale. But I think it's ended. It ended well. The client is happy.
Handled seamlessly by the whole team, and I think it's commendable how they've done it.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Fantastic to know so much that you guys have been working since years now. And this bond that's just there between the two of you. I mean, I see that Pinakni remembers your favorite picks. So she's like walnut, because that's the one that she always
because I'll just get a call and अच्छा वो वाला हमने किया था ना वैसा वाला walnut चाहिए.
So I think there's that comfort level, and we she really understands the design aesthetic that we follow. So I think that's how
And when I walk into 42mm, I just walk down the stairs and it feels like home. It's not like I have to wait at the reception, I have to take an appointment. I just walk in and everybody knows me. I've been going there for so long, and it just everybody just stops and to have a little bit of a chat and everything. So it's very nice.
I'm so glad that you feel that.
I feel like it's my second home, literally.
What is that one advice that you'd want to give to the women watching out there? Could be a mother, could be a single woman, could be someone who's trying to make it in her career. Just one advice for that woman that comes out of your experience.
I think first and foremost, you need to get over with that guilt that comes with any professional women, that we feel that we're not able to give our 100% to either to our work or to our kids. So I think first is that you need to get over that guilt, because as long as you're giving your best at that moment, that's more than enough. You don't have to be 100% available for your kids, and learn to delegate things. Like it comes at your professional thing also, you need to develop that team, delegate work so that people can take care of the project, and also delegate work at home. Communicate and do that. So these were the key. These are the key advice I would give to everybody, be it a woman practicing architecture or any working women.
Yeah, just get rid of the guilt and balance it to delegation. Like communicate more with people and ask for help. I think a lot of women also don't ask for help. They feel that they have this pressure of doing it themselves. What do you think about that?
So I think as a woman, you are inherently trained as a don't ask for help, because if you ask for help, you'll be seen as somebody who's weak. So we should get over that thing and ask for help, not from your partner, but with your team member, with friends. And surround yourself with a network who understands your situation. There are a lot of times when I would miss out on a school event or a event, then I would fall back on friends who will give me notes about whatever the teacher has spoken about, and I would speak to my clients as well, because if I have a parenting responsibility, I would let them know. I would defer a meeting, I would shift a deadline so that I'm able to accommodate both.
That's how a designer and a client relationship, I think it just strengthens it further, because if you share, personal little bit issues here,
everybody understands.
Everybody has them also. Everybody has them, even the clients have them. So that's what makes it much stronger, I think. I mean, how they've grown in the last 10 years, I think it's because, clients have that personal relationship with them. And trust is there. The trust is most important.
And since this is a very high pressure and a demanding job, like you'd have clients who'd call you and say, what is happening with the project, or they will follow up and all of that. How would you, figure out a way that your motherhood isn't affected and the work project is not affected? What is that one challenge that you faced in your life at some point of time? And then how did you kind of resolve it?
I think she's handled the challenges very well. That's why I don't think there's anything really top of the mind that she has, And she's always been there. The kids are either in school now or they're, upstairs, which is just like just upstairs, a flight of stairs up. And now they have a new addition also to the family who must have posed a lot of challenges. Coco is their little dog, and Coco's also like the girl. She keeps coming down, going up, and she made friends with everybody in office. Any visitor comes, so they are not so aware that
that's so warm.
So but she is like another extension of the whole family. So it's like a beautiful setup over there, And and another thing I want to add is every time you go there, there's so much food. Any meeting, there is so much food. So it's like, ab dhokla manga lete, ab samosa manga lete.
In the studio, people just need a reason for a celebration. There's a meeting which is extended, they call for food. There's some birthday, call for food. So I think that's how we're all foodies, and we love to celebrate even a small event that happens in the office.
So it's so lovely. How lovely. Summing up the conversation, coming up to the last question that I actually wanted to ask you. Any advice for budding designers? That are watching you out there, they want to get inspired from that one thing. What would that thing be?
I think to remain relevant in this time, it's important that you keep building the, your skill set, your knowledge band. So I would say they shouldn't be rushing into the process of establishing themselves. They should be working. They should take their time to hone their craft, build their knowledge, skill set, and not to be bothered about the noise of the trend cycle that's you would see on social media and everywhere. I think they should their personal style they should be working on, and just have fun. Designing it.
Along the way.
Okay, guys, have fun designing is what Priyanka Khanna says. Thank you so much. Any last words?
I think last words I would say for the women in design only, that you shouldn't be apologetic about who you are,
Yeah.
but you should take pride in the juggling act that you do to balance out your work and
Workout.
Why you
Workout.
Yeah.
She is a fitness enthusiast.
Wow, I
Yeah,
can see.
Yeah, and her fitness journey has also been inspirational. So tremendous balance there also. Yeah.
Thank you for
It's
you
not
to say
easy.
that.
It's not easy to do that, but yeah, she's done
No,
that.
it's not easy, but I would say that as long as you're having fun doing that workout with the
Yeah.
community that you've built up, it's you're able to balance out and have fun along the way. So that goes not just for the workout, but even at the office.
Yeah, true.
Lovely. So also be social is what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Priyanka,
so much, Riya.
for being with us here. Thank you so much for taking out the time in such a quick notice that Pranat News just called you up. But thank you for being here. I hope that you liked the conversation and it was heart to heart.
Yeah. No, I absolutely loved it. And Pinakini, she didn't really give me a choice that this is what we're doing. She's like, we are doing it and you have to be there. And it's absolutely fun chatting with Pinakini always. And it was great
so
meeting
much.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
coming.
much, Priyanka. Thank you for coming. Thank you.